Both of them did an outstanding job, and both of them are playing a lot of ball. You'll see a lot of both of them tonight. Troy Green's a little fella, but he can really make those threes. And you'll see Noble Evans on the boards. He gets better every game. He didn't get a lot of coaching prior to getting here, but he's very coachable, and he's going to be a fine ball player for this club before it's all over.
Well, you know, those are the type of ball players you build a program with, you don't fill with. And you said Troy Green, he really impressed me last year. I didn't get a chance to see him other than on film clips, Dick, but I followed their high school team. He averaged like about 20, 25 points a game during the season, but when his high school team hit the playoffs, he upped his average to about 40 points a game. He took it to another level when he hit the playoffs, and that impressed me as much as anything without ever having seen him play.
Well, you're going to see him when he gets the ball tonight. If they give him a breathing room, he's going to fire it up there. He's not bashful at all. But this team has a lot of chemistry going forward. I'm really impressed with how much they enjoy playing with each other, and I think that it's going to be an exciting year for Southeastern, and tonight will be their first real test of how they're going to compete at their level, I think.
That's right. As you said, and you're going to see a lot of different players out here tonight. We're going to be hard-pressed to keep up and give you the players, because the two ball games thus far, he has played something like 12, 13 players so far, and as we said, their Lions have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 players that are averaging double figures in minutes played, which is a lot.
Both of these teams are ranked, and there are a number of different college ranking systems. Both of them are ranked within about 20 teams of each other in the United States at the present time. Both of them ranked in a little over 200 in the national rankings. But last year, Nicholls State was ranked in the top 100, and as a result, got a lot of national recognition. I'm sure helped Ricky Broussard in his recruiting. But John Lyles is going to be an outstanding recruiter. I've watched his style and his technique, and he's the kind of guy I'd want to play for if I were going to start school playing basketball at the college level.
And playing basketball, we'll give you a little background on Dick Sharp. He was an outstanding player here at Southeastern. He's a member of the Southeastern Hall of Fame, and this past summer, he was inducted into the Louisiana Association of Basketball Coaches Hall of Fame. So knows a little bit about what he's talking about basketball, and right now we're about ready for the start of the starting lineups, and they're giving you the Nicholls starting lineup, Dick.
At one of the forwards, they have Kedrick Franklin. He's a 6'6" from Baton Rouge. And another forward, Roy Randall, a 6'4", senior. At center, they've got a 7-foot center here named Cedric Marie. They've got a guard playing 6'3", Keldrick Porter, 185 pounds. And their other guard is Todd Russ, who got a little experience last year. He's only 5'7", but he's a fine guard.
And of course now the Southeastern Lions being introduced before the home crowd, and for the starting lineup for Southeastern. At point guard for the Lions, the junior college transfer we talked about, 6'3", Rico Grant out of New York. And at the other guard from Grand Coteau, Louisiana, 6'4", sophomore Glenn Charles, and really a steady, fine ball player, as Dick said, can really jump. And at one of the forwards for the Lions, their leading scorer thus far in 2 ball games, Sam Bowie, and he's exciting. He'll turn it on, he'll shoot from out, he loves to dunk. At the other forward is one of the new faces who set out last year. He transferred from USL, where he was recruited there by John Lyles, Jason Winningham, 6'9". He's averaging 19.5 points a ball game. And the other starter for the Lions is another junior college transfer, Jason Kay, number 40, 6'9" junior, and just a scrapper on the boards. Not one of those really flashy players, but he gets a lot of points, a lot of scrappy rebounds. Our officials for the night's ball game: Doug Shiles, Phil Robinson, and Pat Dowd. The Lions again coached by John Lyles, assistant Ron Cox, and Terry Waldrop. Southeastern ready to start tonight's ball game against Nicholls State. Again, setting the starters for Nicholls. Number 12 will be Todd Russ. 42 is Keldrick Porter.
They made a change at
center.
Oh, didn't they? They put in a last-minute change and started Dennis Wilson, who's a 6'7" center. They were originally scheduled to start their 7-foot center, but he's sitting on the bench right now.
Okay, so we'll go with number 24. They have a number change that they didn't give us in the pre-game. As we said, Todd Russ, 24 is Keith Richard. Excuse me.
Keith's another one they had that got some playing experience last year.
And he starts tonight. Jason Kay jumps center against Dennis Wilson, and the Lions control it with Grant. Out front, Nicholls in there man-to-man. That's Rico Grant handling the basketball. Jason Kay is number 40. Jason Whittingham, number 25, has the ball now on the left wing. Pass to Sam Bowie on the left wing is knocked out of bounds, and Nicholls out with some real quick, heavy pressure.
Yes, it looks like they're going to play a lot of heavy defense on us, somewhat like Mississippi State did, and it's going to take us a while to get our offense going if they do.
Glenn Charles, the top of the key, is called for traveling, and Nicholls will take over the basketball.
This is a problem we've been having with these turnovers, and Coach Lyles is concerned about the number of turnovers, and we start off the game with one here.
And that's 5-7 Todd Rush on the wing to Kendrick Franklin, their leading scorer. Out to Rush to Franklin, top of the key, drives the lane, stops and shoots. It's no good, and rebounds picked down by Whittingham. There's a long pass down court to Kay, lays it up, blocked and fouled by Dennis Wilson.
You can see already the tone of this game. Southeastern wants to run, and they're going to bring it down that court as fast as they can. They almost got a layup doing it that time.
And you're going to see a lot of layups coming up, and this is Jason Kay in there to shoot tonight for 2 free throws. Kay shoots the first one. It's off the back of the rim.
That's the first free throw this year that Jason's missed. He had 3 for 3 up going into that shot there.
And he misses that one, and a rebound by Keldrick Porter. Nicholls down. Again, Franklin on the wing. He handles the ball a lot. Out front to Keith Richard. Richard now running the show for the Colonels. No score. First minute of play. To Rush out front. On the wing, Franklin. He shoots a 3. It's good.
Nicholls looks like they're going to do a very deliberate setup on offense and then play a very tough pressing defense.
Ball's knocked away from Grant, and there goes Keldrick Porter on the breakaway. And quickly, the Lions now will bring the ball back inbound. Whittingham. They just knocked that one away from Grant and had a 2-on-0 fast break. 5-0 Colonel Lee, and a foul is called in the backcourt on Todd Russ, and the Lions will inbound it again.
Todd Russ is a hustling little 5'7" fella. To be at 5'7" and play the college game, he's got to be a hustler.
Once again, inbounds it to Rico Grant, and he'll bring it up with Russ on him. And they try to double team and gave him a stop and double team it. Now to pass on the wing to Bowie. The 3-pointer way off. Ball is tapped around and out to Russ. Now the long alley-oop pass down to Franklin. Franklin goes up and dunks it over Sam Bowie. Lions off to a slow start. Out to Whittingham out front to Bowie on the wing. He shoots from 12, partially blocked and rebounded by Richard. Down on the left wing. They beat the Lions down the floor. Blocked by Bowie. That's a good defensive play by Sam Bowie as he came back and blocked the shot of Keith Richard. Charles Whittingham, top of the key, a 6'9" man, can shoot from out. Ball is rebounded by Bowie on the baseline. Pass inside to Kay, turns and is tied up in the lane. Colonel's intense pressure right now is giving the Lions a little bit of trouble.
Looks like they've got a little problem with the nerves right now. They weren't expecting this kind of pressing defense, I don't believe.
And on the alternating possession, the ball goes over to the Colonels, and they'll come up with a 7-0 lead here in the first 2.5 minutes of play. The Lions, who are averaging about 90 points a ball game, have yet to score. On the wing to Richard, he misses it. Rebounded by Charles. Southeastern bringing it up, has no break this time. There's a pass to Kay, and he loses it out of bounds.
Another turnover.
Turnover there, and they had the fast break. Kay did a good job of filling the lane, but he just could not control the ball, and we have a timeout. Dick, a slow start for the Lions.
Yeah, Coach Lyles could see that they needed a little steadying because there's 2 turnovers they've had, which there was no excuse for, and so he's going to try to regroup a little bit. He had to do that a number of times in the first game, a home game against Texas College here.
Southeastern thus far in their 2 ball games has shot 45% from the field and only 28% from the three-point range, but it's hit 80% from the free throw line. One of the best shooting percentages at the outset for a Southeastern team from the free throw line in a long time. And they're averaging, thus far, they're averaging 94 points a ball game in 2 contests.
Southeastern percentages may be a little misleading at this point in time if you compare them to Nicholls State, because of the fact that we have played 2 regular season games and all they've played is exhibition games. So we won't give you many comparisons with the exhibition games that they've played. But it's suffice to say you don't win a whole lot of games shooting 45%. You need to have your very near 50% shooting percentage to figure you're going to have a chance to win a ball game. And our three-point percentage is obviously very low, but our free throws are going to carry us if we can keep shooting that way, although we've missed our first 2 tonight.
And now the Colonels, leading by 7, will inbound the basketball again. They get it to Russ, and he'll bring it up the court, guarded by Grant. The Lions not playing their full court pressure defense yet, where they run and double trap out front. That's Russ in the lane to Porter. Pass underneath is tipped around back outside to Russ for a 3-pointer, and it's good. Todd Russ hits his first one. Colonels have a 10-0 lead here in the first 3 minutes of play. Lions just waiting for an opportunity to get untracked. Grant pulls up out front on the left wing to Whittingham. Out front to Charles. Drives, stops, and shoots from 16. It's no good. Rebounded by Russ. They have a 2-on-1. Russ down the line, fills it to the right side to Richard, lays it up and in. And the Colonels are giving the Lions a dose of their own medicine right now.
Lions need to get a basket. They've got a lot of case of nerves. They're getting 16-foot shots, but only shooting them 15.
Lions working the ball again. Whittingham out top K to Grant. He shoots the 3-pointer. It's in and out, but Whittingham gets the rebound. Up underneath and lays it in. Jason Whittingham. He's really a fine all-around player. He can shoot from out and go underneath and does a good job on the boards. Had 5 blocks the other night on defense. Now the Lions have cracked the ice, trail 12-2. Colonel's getting ready for heavy substitutions. Work the ball outside. Franklin with a 3-pointer. I think that was partially blocked by Whittingham, and Charles gets the rebound. Grant brings it up. Dribbles down to the right side. That's Rico Grant with the basketball. Looking inside, now shoots the 3. It's in and out, no good, and Richard with the rebound.
They're just daring Rico Grant to shoot from the outside, and I think that's a mistake because Rico can hit the outside shot.
He's going to have to prove it to him first. Franklin missed that shot. The Lions got the rebound. They have it now. That's Sam Bowie outside with the ball. Now he launches the 3, way short. Russ with the rebound. Out to the left side to Richard. Richard lobs it underneath to Franklin, who slams, dunks it home. Hedrick Franklin now has 7 points this early in the ball game. The Colonels lead 14-2. I don't think in the Lions' faintest dreams that they thought they'd get a start like this. Now Grant outside, and official calls foul underneath. I think he's calling the Colonel for bumping underneath. He did.
He saw some roughness starting to take place under there and decided to control it early in the game before it got out of hand. There was a little bit of elbowing going on in there.
That was Dennis Wilson that got the foul. That was his second. Now the Colonels bring in at least 4 new ball players, including Tunde Oroha, a 6'8" player from Nigeria. They brought in Cedric Marie, the 7-footer from France. They have brought in Earl Flowers, number 20, and it looks like also Taurus Howard is still out there. And also Roy Randall is in the ball game. So 5 new players in there now for the Colonels. The Lions have substituted. That's Troy Green outside to Grant. Grant fires again. No good. Whittingham, though, gets the rebound. Also in the ball game is Shingleton. Brendan Shingleton's out there. Well, they're daring Rico to shoot right now, and he can't drop one in there. That's Kay on the right side. Out front to Troy Green. Green dribbles to Grant. Grant turns, shoots again, and this one's off again. Whittingham there for the rebound, though. Jason Whittingham has both the Lions buckets on good follow-ups underneath.
they're outplaying us on both ends of the floor with the exception of rebounding. And rebounding right now, we're doing a better job. We just can't make the ball fall in the goal.
And that's the only thing that's kept the Lions within 10. On the wing outside, Randall shoots and misses. And that's Jason Kay with the rebound. Grant pushes it up to Shingleton outside. Underneath to Whittingham. Whittingham on the baseline, turns and shoots. Kay misses the rebound and is pulled in by Randall. Randall out to Flowers, drives the lane, dishes it off inside to the freshman O'Royha, and he's fouled.
Lions look a little sluggish coming back on defense. They're going to have to get ready.
And that was on Whittingham as he went in. Lions also bring a couple more substitutes in. Avery Anderson, junior college transfer out of Delgado, and the other freshman we talked about, Noble Evans, the two freshmen we talked about on the court for the Lions now.
We got a young team out there. We got 4 substitutes in the game. The only regular in there right now is Whittingham. So Coach Lyles is going to continue doing what he's been doing and give our boys a lot of experience before he gets into the conference season.
And Tundre Oroha misses his first free throw. He has another one. The Colonels lead 14-4. We played just over 6 minutes. He makes the second one. So it's an 11-point lead for Nicholls. There's a ball down to Evans. Evans over to Anderson on the right side to Green. He likes to shoot the three, but he can't make it. Shingleton and Randall battle for the basketball. It goes out of bounds, and it'll be Nicholls' ball.
I mentioned to you that when Troy Green gets the opportunity, he's going to fire it up there, and you saw it then. He has a lot of confidence in his ability to shoot the basketball. Right now, Southeastern hasn't got much reason to be too confident in their shooting because they aren't making them. But that'll come around. They just got to keep firing away and working at it.
Colonels bring the ball back up the court, inside to Marie, turns and shoots inside. Good. That's Tundre Oroha. As he makes it, there's Anderson. Anderson drives in, now back out to Whittingham outside, and he makes the three. Jason Whittingham with the three-pointers. We said he can do the job under, he can do the job out. Runs the floor real well. He's a fine college basketball player. First three-pointer for the Lions. They stay within 10, 17-7. We've played 7 minutes here in the first half. That's Flowers. Drives, passes outside, back out to Flowers at the top of the key. Flowers inside to Oroha. That's Randall with the basketball. Randall back to Flowers. Lions playing a little bit better defense right now. Flowers pulls up and shoots the three. No good. And Anderson has the rebound. Best defensive sequence the Lions have had thus far. That's Bowie outside. He's going to drive the lane, and it's foul. Good thing you fouled him out there, Dick. He had a wide open layup otherwise.
Sam Bowie is very difficult to guard one-on-one, and if you come up on him, he'll go around you, and if you step back, he'll fire the three. And, of course, he's our leading scorer with almost a 24-point average and a good candidate to be player of the year in this conference, so they can't afford to let him get hot.
And that foul was on Lorenzo Wright. And there goes Whittingham driving, and he's fouled as he puts it up. Jason Whittingham has been the Lions' offense here in the early going. That was on Cedric Marie. And this will send Whittingham to the line. What's he done in the first 2 ball games from the free throw line, Dick?
Jason has shot the ball 8 times, made 8. I hate to say that because we said it earlier on another player and he missed them, but Jason makes his. He's 9 for 9 this year in regular season games.
Got the shooter's roll that time, and now Nicholls comes back with their starting lineup that opened this 10-point bug. The little group that they sent in to play a couple minutes held their own, held the lead at 10. Whittingham has now dropped it down to 17-8. Whittingham hits the second one. So Whittingham with all 9 SLU points thus far in the ball game. Colonels back with their original starters. That's Richard to Porter, back out to Russ. Russ drives in, has it batted away if they're going to call a foul on Green. First foul on Troy Green. They kind of match up in size a little bit, don't they, Russ and Green?
They sure do. They're both very small men for college basketball, but both very quick and good shooters.
There's a pass out to Franklin. Kendrick Franklin led the way for the Colonels early. He had 7 points. Over to Russ. He launches a three-pointer. No good, but it's rebounded and put back in by Chris Thompson, making his first appearance in the ball game. The Colonels substituted. They added their 11th player of the ball game. This is Avery Anderson outside running the offense for the Lions. Drives in, stops, and he's fouled on the drive. Lions look like some of their outside people can take the Colonels on the dribble, and thus far everyone that's tried it has done it so far.
We're getting good shots. The problem is we haven't been able to get our shots to go down, and the percentage, of course, we're shooting has got to be horrible.
And that foul was on Todd Russ. That's his second foul. Anderson will inbound the basketball. 19-9, 11:39 to go in the first half. Anderson looks for somebody to throw it to, gets it into Kay, who's back in the ball game now. Jason Kay, and this out front is Avery Anderson. On the right wing to Jason Kay. Kay out front to Winningham. On the left side to Anderson. That's Anderson driving underneath. Reverse layup, it is good. No, they're going to wave it off. They're going to say that Jason Kay touched the ball while it was on the rim. And we're not at an angle to say whether he did or he didn't. His hand was up there close, though, Dick.
Yeah, it looked like he was guilty of that offensive interference there.
But once again, a Lion took the basketball and was able to take his man on the dribble. Now the pass down to Franklin. He drives the baseline, pulls up, passes underneath to Thompson. He's going to get the goal and it's foul. So another bucket for the Colonels. They lead now 21-9. And that foul was on Avery Anderson. Looked like they'd done a good job of stopping Franklin on the drive, but he did a good job getting the pass off to Thompson.
Well, Coach Lyles was not happy with Avery there on a kind of a poor defensive play to let his man get that offensive position under the goal and get that layup. So he's out of the game right now, sitting on the bench, and Rico Green's back in.
21-9, the Colonels lead, make it 22-9. And now the Colonels bring back in Earl Flowers, replace Todd Russ, who has 2 fouls.
Lions look a little frustrated right now because they can't get the balls to fall, and they've got to get some baskets by more than just Jason Winningham. But nothing seems to fall for him.
Troy Green drives and shoots that one off balance. Ball backed out of bounds, and it'll be SLU basketball under their own offensive end. This will be Rico Grant bringing in the basketball. Out to Green. He drives, pulls up, gives it to Bowie. That's Sam Bowie out with the basketball now. Bowie tries to drive, and they're going to call a foul on the Colonels.
Personal foul number 24, Keith Richard.
They call that on Keith Richard, his first. That's a 7th team. Should be a 1-and-1. Should be a 1-and-1 this time. That was away from the basketball that time, Dick.
Yes. Yes, they were doing a little pushing a little underneath there and tried to run right through a screen.
And the line shooting 1-and-1.
Of course, this sends Jason Winningham to the free throw line. He has all of Southeastern's points in this 22-9 ball game. Make it 22-10.
Right now it's Nicholls 22, Jason Winningham 10.
And he misses that one.
That's his first free throw he's missed this year.
The rebound was by Thompson. Colonel's outside. That's Richard with the basketball. Dishes off to Thompson, who's come off the bench and hit a few points, but Bowie gets the rebound on a miss. Green down quickly. Lobs under to Kay, who loses control of it, and the Colonel's on another fast break. That's Franklin driving the lane, passes it off to Flowers, who lays it up and in, and it's a 24-10. Now the Lions back down quickly. Bowie drives, banks it off the glass. And if the Lions can get him on track, they can get their offense going. First basket for the Lions by anybody other than Winningham. Now the Colonel's back down. That's Flowers again with the basketball. Resetting the Colonel offense.
Setting up a play there. It appears that everything works off Russ.
Pass back outside to Franklin after driving all the way under. Franklin hits the 2-pointer. 9 points for him in the ball game, and it's 26-12. Outside to Winningham, he tries to drive to Green. Green shoots and hits the 3-pointer. Troy Green.
That's encouraging. We've scored the last 2 times down the floor, but we've got a long way to go to get back in this game.
And now the Colonels go down court. That's Flowers in on Kay. Kay taps it away, and Whittingham comes up with a rebound. Now the Lions going quickly. There's Green. He sets up, shoots the three. No good. Was off everything. Sam Bowie hustles the ball back inbounds, but to Franklin of the Colonels, who drives, and he's going to be fouled out front by Rico Grant. Good hustle by Sam Bowie that time on a ball looked like it was dead set out of bounds. He bounced it back in. First one on Grant. First team foul, and I think we're going to have a timeout on the floor. Dick, the Lions thus far shooting is not, as you said, not been their best mark so far. They've gotten off to a sluggish start. Still 9 minutes to go in the first half, only down by 11. Shooting as poor as they are, you know they got to be able to come back.
Well, I think it's too early to make a judgment as to whether or not we're going to have a close ball game here or not, because I think the Lions shooting will improve. They're on their home court. They got a little case of the nerves early in the game. The shooting's picked up a little bit, and I think we'll get better. All the games that I've seen this year thus far, we've gotten better as the game went on.
Of course, the other night against Texas College, the Lions just kind of floundered around for a half, only led by 5 points at the half against a team they should have led by a lot, but wound up winning the ball game by 35. I guess if you're Ricky Broussard right now, you got to be pretty well pleased. Your first game out the, out the blocks, and you're playing real well. You're leading the team on the road by 10 points. You know, the big question there is, can you maintain it, of course, and we've got another, 29 minutes of basketball to find that out. Look at the Lions coming up, Dick. As we said again, Saturday night, that's December the 2nd. They're home to play Baptist Christian. They go on the road for 2 ball games against Texas Christian and Northwestern. Then they're home for 2 more ball games before Christmas. They play Jackson State here on December the 16th, and then Southern University here on December the 22nd. So still 3 more home ball games before Christmas.
I don't think it can be overemphasized how important this game is to them, because they feel like this is their really first good look at teams of their caliber that they're going to be playing all year long here. So they need a win here for a confidence builder.
Driving the lane is Randall, and he's fouled as he gets by the free throw line. I think going to call that on Glenn Charles. That's his first, 5th team foul on the Lions. And they're going to call that a shooting foul, so that'll send Randall to the free throw line for a pair.
At the line shooting 2 for Nicholls State, Roy Randall.
Roy Randall misses his first one. And the Lions will bring Bowie back in again.
Sam Bowie back into the game for the Lions.
Right now, Southeastern with Rico Grant. They got the freshman. They just brought another freshman in the ball game. Andy Boland is a good outside shooter. Have Noble Evans is back in the game. Bowie along with Whittingham. Whittingham has played the entire way so far. And the second free throw is made by Randall, and it's a 27-15 ball game. Andy Boland, a freshman out of Florida. Dick, some early shooting percentages will tell you what they're talking about.
Well, Southeastern is shooting a little less than 20% right now, which tells you a lot about why they're behind.
And a freshman, Andy Boland, comes off the bench to hit the three-pointer. It's a good, encouraging sign there, and it's now 27-18.
Well, Southeastern, as I said, was shooting less than 20%, about 19%, while Nicholls State was shooting 50%, and that's not hard to see why there's a 9-point difference now in the ball game. In terms of turnovers, we've had 6. Nicholls State hasn't had 1. Big difference.
Yeah, especially no turnovers. You expect to have a few turnovers, but you got to force some when you're playing this type of basketball, and the Lions haven't forced any yet. There's underneath turn. Noble Evans blocks the shot. Wilson retrieves his own ball. And now the Colonel's outside. That's Franklin. He misses badly. And Grant gets the rebound and is fouled by Dennis Wilson. That's Wilson's 3rd foul, if that's on him. It is. Dennis Wilson has picked up 3 fouls. And that should send Grant to the free throw line. The Lions in the last 2 or 3 minutes, you can see them turning the tide just a hair right now.
That's right. And a couple of the starters for Nicholls State, if they don't watch themselves, they're going to be in foul trouble pretty early on here.
That'll send Rico Grant to the free throw line, shooting a 1-and-1. Grant thus far in 2 ball games.
67%.
Rico Grant shooting 1-and-1.
He makes his first one. So Rico Grant with his first points of the ball game. Rico Grant's a junior college transfer, and you really haven't seen any of his passes thus far. That ball was rebounded by Corey Norwood. Colonels get a lot of people in action early. That's Norwood from three-point range. No good, but it's rebounded underneath. Ball is shot. No good.
Another offensive rebound there. We can't let them have those offensive rebounds.
They give the basket to Kelvin Porter. John Lyle screaming for an offensive interference on that situation, but didn't get it. Bowie drives, pulls up, puts another one in. No good. Gets his own rebound. And they're going to say he was out of bounds when he picked up the basketball. So it'll be Colonel basketball, leading by 10, 29-19. 7:37 to go in the first half. Crowd still filtering in. A nice crowd here for this Thursday night ball game early in the season. That's Earl Flowers out front running the show for the Colonels. Drives past Grant, banks it off the glass, and good. Earl Flowers just took Rico Grant on the dribble. Now Grant drives past the Bowie. He launches a long one. No good. Rebounded in there by Oroiha. That's the freshman from Nigeria.
All our rebounders are basically out of the game, our first team rebounders, and he's going to get Winningham back in there right away. We've lost several rebounds, offensive and defensive, in the last couple minutes here.
And Corey Norwood banks a two-pointer in. And the Colonels have back up their lead to 14 points, 33-19. That's Evans to Bolin. Bolin lobs one into Charles. Charles tries to dribble, now gets the shot off. It is no good. Rebounded underneath by Evans, and he puts it back in. Noble Evans showing some of his strength inside. He's a Karl Malone type of player. Big, strong, physical inside, built a lot like him.
Yeah, he's got the body like Corliss Williamson of Arkansas. He's not quite as big as Corliss, but almost the same size.
Pass out, almost lost by Norwood, but he recovers it. Colonels in the lane. Shots put up. It is no good. Rebounded by Grant. That was Randall who missed it. Rico Grant runs it up the court. Pulls up to Charles, top of the key. He shoots a three-pointer. It's good. Glenn Charles. And the Lions cut it back to 9 with 6 minutes to go in the first half. 33-24. Now Southeastern starting to put on their full court pressure, and the Colonel's going to call a timeout to talk it over in this situation. So Southeastern trying to step up the tempo a little bit more defensively now, Dick. In the first about 10-12 minutes, Lions kind of set back and let Nicholls come to them, and all of a sudden John Lyle is trying to make something happen, throws on the full court pressure.
Well, making these three-point shots is certainly a big help for us. We need to be able to shoot those things and make them, because we've got some fellas in practice just tear up that three-point shot and have shot it reasonably well last year. We were a pretty good three-point shooting team. Sam Bowie is an excellent three-point shooter and hasn't connected on any yet tonight, but almost everybody in that lineup can shoot from the three, and it looks like Nicholls State has decided to give us the threes and keep us from going underneath. And so we're going to have those in order to be able to open up the deep fellas and get some layups in there.
And as we said, don't forget Saturday night, December 2nd, the Lions will be back home again, host Baptist Christian College. And right now they trail by 9 in this ball game, 33-24. But they've shown, they also showed the second half against Mississippi State that they could come back, because they played real well in the second half against Mississippi State. And thus far in 2 ball games, they've been a pretty good second half team, and you got to look forward to that.
Now, one of the things you've got to keep in mind in the Mississippi State game, basically the last quarter, both teams were playing most of their bench, so it's really hard to make too many judgments in that state game, but certainly our comeback in the second half against Texas College indicated that we're playing better in the second half so far this year, no question about it.
Of course, the Lions hoping to take some advantage of their depth, but Colonel's countering with that by also playing about 10 to 12 men early in the ball game. Nicholls inbounds the basketball as Randall dribbling up past Bowie all the way down the baseline, shoots it over Kay, no good, but it's rebounded underneath by Oroiha. He was just in the right place at the right time. And the Colonels lead 35-24. Rico Grant breaks the pressure momentarily of Flowers. Now out to Whittingham out front. On the wing to Sam Bowie. Bowie has it batted away. It'll be Southeastern basketball again. 5:32 to go in the first half. The Colonels lead 35-24. They've won 2 straight over Southeastern, although Southeastern leads the series overall 33-26. Ball's inbounded to Green, who dribbles to the free throw line, passes underneath to Winningham. A nice pass inside. Winningham puts the ball up, but he is fouled by Tunde Oroha. Again, Colonels are counting a lot on a couple of big freshmen to improve as the season goes, and Oroha is one of them, and he's shown a little ability here in the early going.
It appears to me that Coach Ricky Broussard has decided they're not going to let Sam Bowie beat him tonight because they're playing some tough defense on him. It's hard for Sam to get the ball, let alone get shots off, and he hasn't really had a good, clear shot at the goal.
And Winningham sinks the free throw. That's 11 points for him in the ball game. Lions climb back within 10, make that 9, 35-26. They just need a stretch where they get a couple quick baskets and hold the Colonels without one and get the ball, score back down to about 5, and I think they'll feel a lot more comfortable. But the Colonels have answered every challenge thus far. Flowers dribbling out front, trying to take Green, passes off, and they're going to call a 3-second violation on the Colonels as they set up a real good pick to free Corey Norwood for the shot, but before he could get it off, they said Oroha has stayed in the lane too long. Grant clears everybody out and says, I'll bring it up to court. That's Rico Grant, newcomer to the Lions program this year, junior college transfer. Out front to Winningham. There's a pass underneath to Sam Bowie. Fakes once, puts it up off the glass, good, and a nice pass from Winningham. We see another facet of Winningham's game right there. That's 2 buckets for Bowie in the ball game. Now the Colonels leading down to 7. Flowers dribbles way outside. Turns, drives the lane, passes underneath. Ball is batted away by Winningham off of Randall. Green coming up the court. He is tripped up from behind by Earl Flowers, and that should send Troy Green to the free throw line for a 1-and-1.
Lions are starting to look a little more like they're in this ball game, and if they can keep the Nicholls State Colonels from getting those layups under there on those follow-up rebounds, those offensive rebounds have hurt us a good bit this first half, and we've got to stop them from getting those and get our position established under there.
And Coach Ricky Broussard brings back in Todd Russ, who's got 2 fouls on him, along with Keith Richard, the 2 guys that started in the backcourt for him. Now Troy Green shoots his free throw. Is no good. That was the 10th foul of the first half, so it's a 2-shot foul.
Troy first free throw to Troy Green.
The Lions getting ready to bring in another one of their freshmen, Stuart Drury. Drury, a big 6'8", 6'9" freshman who the Lions hope will just get better as he gets some playing time. Green's second free throw off the front of the rim. No good. And Oroha picks up the rebound. 7-point Colonel lead. Lions missed a golden opportunity there to cut it down to that 5-point marker. There's Richard out front. On the wing of Franklin, drives the baseline, has the ball batted away from him, and they're going to call Drury for the foul underneath. Lions did a good job of stopping Franklin on the drive that time. It looked like they had batted away, but the official said that Drury fouled him.
Stuart Drury is prone to get himself in trouble on fouls pretty fast. He fouled out against Mississippi State and got in foul trouble the other night again. He's got a lot to learn yet, but he's a good, strong, dependable player in there and a good hustler. He hustles and works hard.
That was only the 6th foul on the Lions, so it's a non-shooting foul, and the Colonels will inbound it under their offensive goal. There's a pass in the lane, picked off by Winningham. Tries to pass it back, but Evans finally recovers it. Winningham, there's Green, launches a long 3-pointer, no good, but Evans with the rebound. Evans tries to drive the baseline and loses it as he bumps into Cedric Marie.
2 freshman mistakes there. Green shooting from beyond the reasonable distance to shoot a 3-pointer from, NBA distance, and then Noble Evans losing concentration under there and having a turnover.
Back out front, Keith Richard dribbles. He's got Rico Grant on him. Tries to take Grant. Pulls up, shoots a 17-footer, no good. Winningham with the rebound. He'll hand it off to Grant down the court to Noble Evans, who turns and lays it in. He almost got caught in no man's land trying to decide whether he wanted to dunk it or whether he wanted to lay it in. 35-30 with 3:12 to go. Now the ball is stolen by Bowie. Bowie's going to drive the lane, put it up, and it rolls around and good.
As you can see, that was a spectacular shot, and Sam's known for a spectacular shot. He's fun to watch, and he brought this crowd to their feet.
And he'll bring him a couple more times if he gets those patented slam dunks that he likes to have. Bowie will go to the line. He's already got 6 points, and you'd have to really call this a poor offensive half for Sam Bowie, but yet he has scrambled around and got 6 points. And a foul that time, I don't know if they haven't registered who it was on for the Colonels. Oh, okay.
Personal foul number 22, Kendrick.
All right, it was on 22, Franklin. That's his first. Bowie just stole the ball from him and the defensive end of the court and laid it up. It's 35-32. Dick, we're back where we were. We said we cut it down in the last couple minutes. Bowie misses the free throw, and Porter grabs the rebound. There's a long pass down to Franklin. Franklin drives the lane, loses the ball, gets his own ball back. Now his shot is blocked by Sam Bowie. Recovered by the Colonels, however. Todd Russ has the basketball. Flowers, baseline, back outside to Russ. Lions have stepped up their defensive tempo now, and Russ walks with the basketball. I tell you, it's cranked it up a notch on defense.
Well, Sam's play, I think, has sparked him, and they've got the fans excited and the players playing like they can. Sam works as hard in practice as he does out here on the floor in a ball game, too.
2:33 to go. The Lions trail by 3, 35-32. That's on the wing to Bowie. Takes Franklin on the baseline. They're going to call Franklin probably for holding him. They are. That's the second one on Kendrick Franklin. And right now, I'm not sure that 3 or 4 of the Lions couldn't just run a clear out and take their man to the basket. Now, this is send Bowie to the free throw line for 2 free throws. Southeastern started missing some free throws tonight, Dick. I mean, we bragged on them shooting over 80%, but Bowie's missed 1, Troy Green's missed a couple, Kay's missed a couple, and then Bowie misses another one. So Sam 0 for 2. I think Glenn Charles is getting ready to come in for Sam Bowie. 35-32. So what has been the Lions' strength in the early portion has probably cost them a chance to be in the lead here, despite the fact they have not played that well offensively. He misses both of those, and Porter with a strong rebound. Quickly down to Franklin. Double team, passes it underneath to Marie, back out to Franklin. Launches a 3. It's good.
3-point basket, Kendrick Franklin.
12 points for Franklin in the ball game. He has led the Colonels, and they open back up a 6-point lead. 38-32. We have about 2 minutes to go in the first half. Rico Grant out front to Whittingham. As Whittingham drives the lane, tries to put it up, the ball is batted out of bounds.
Bad shot there. Jason probably should have passed off there. He got himself up in the air and couldn't do anything else but try to get something off.
And Glenn Charles comes in to replace Sam Bowie for the final 2 minutes of play. The Lions will inbound it to Green. Green spins away back out to Evans. Evans drives the baseline. Can't find anybody way outside to Grant. Grant dribbles, drives the lane, passes to Whittingham on the drive. Whittingham puts a shot up, no good, and Marie comes down with a rebound. A lot of contact underneath there. Loose ball, and Whittingham comes up with it. Drives, puts the ball off the glass. They're going to call him an offensive foul. Franklin did a pretty good job there of drawing that foul.
Well, we've had a couple of serious setbacks here in the last couple minutes where we turned the ball over and missed some shots we should have made. Got a couple unfortunate fouls here, too. Missing those free throws kind of turned the tide back in the favor of Nicholls.
The Lions have put an 11-point lead down to 6 with 1:34 to go in the first half. And now I think the Colonels are going to take a 20-second timeout here as Ricky Broussard wants to talk to his team. As you said, the Lions have had a golden opportunity in the last minute and a half probably to take the lead, but just not been able to quite do it.
Well, we missed 2 free throws that would have cut the margin to 3, and they turned right around, came down, made a three-pointer on us. So it made a 5-point spread there in just a matter of 5-10 seconds.
20-second timeout. The Colonels will have the basketball with 1:34 to go, leading by 6 points here at the University Center. Nicholls State Colonels in their official season debut. They played 2 preseason exhibition games. The Lions in their third regular season game, 1-1 during the regular season, also played 2 exhibition ball games. Colonel inbound the basketball, but they're going to call a foul on Todd Russ, which is his third foul. He was holding Rico Grant as Grant tried to get around him to protect defensively, and I will send Grant to the free throw line to shoot a pair. Grant 1 for 2 thus far in the ball game, has just 1 point in the game. Well, they gambled with their starting point guard with 2 fouls, and he picked up his third one, Dick.
That should be helpful to us in the last half. We'll probably work on him a little bit starting the last half.
So Rico Grant now gives the Lions a chance to get back in it. He makes his first one, 38-33, 134. No seconds ticked off the clock in that situation. Of course, one thing for the Lions, Whittingham has picked up 2 fouls, but Coach John Lyles has him on the bench right now, so he won't pick up that third here in the first half. Lions cut it to 4, 1:30 to go in the first half. With the basketball, Richard, that's Franklin. Inside pass to Porter, but he's fouled over the back by Glenn Charles, and that'll send the Colonels to the line.
That's not the kind of foul a coach wants to see, where you reach over somebody's back. They know better than that. They just get anxious, reach in there, and the first thing you know, they got a problem.
And it sends Porter to the free throw line to shoot a 1-on-1. The Colonels thus far 3 for 5 in the ball game from the free throw line. And the Lions are going to put Whittingham back in the ball game and place Noble Evans. Might have just been trying to take him out on defense, Dick, hoping he wouldn't get a foul on defense, and now the Lions will get the basketball trying to put him back in offensively. Porter's shot zips through there. He has 3 points in the ball game. The Colonels lead is back up to 5. 121, 39, 34 here in the first half of play. And he sinks another one. Porter has 6 points. The Lions will bring the ball up, trailing by 6, 40-34. Pass to Whittingham in the lane. He drives. They'll call an offensive foul, and just what the Lions didn't want. They're going to count the basket. They call that's the 3rd foul on Whittingham too. That is a key play with 1:14 to go in the first half.
I believe I'd rather give up that goal and have Whittingham have only 2 fouls at this point. And I think Coach Lyles feels the same way. He's expressing himself quite liberally over there right now at the referee.
I'm really surprised that he didn't give him the bucket. I thought the ball had slipped out of his hands, and the Colonels throw the ball out of bounds on the inbounds play, so the Lions will get another chance at it. Looked like Whittingham didn't make contact after the ball left his hands. Of course, we don't have a replay or anything to show it, but the officials are a lot closer than we are. The Lions would have taken if they were going to get a foul on him, they would have liked to have the basket to go with it. There's a pass underneath to Evans, and he can't hold on to it. Green did a good job penetrating, got to Evans, but he couldn't hold it. And as the Colonels come down the court, they dribble the ball off of Sam Bowie's foot, right in front of the Southeastern bench. And the Colonels will inbound it again. So Southeastern would have missed a couple chances to cut it back to 4. Now with 1 minute to go in the first half. There's the ball underneath. Double team, drives the lane, fakes, puts it up. Kay blocks the shot, but he's going to be fouled. That was Keldrick Porter driving. That foul was on Sam Bowie. It's only his first. But this will send Keldrick Porter to the line, who just sank 2 free throws. And a 6-point Colonel lead. Porter has 6 points in the ball game. Keldrick Porter, 6'3", senior. He played a lot for the Colonels last year. First one's off the back of the glass. It's no good. 40-34, 56 seconds to go. Substitute comes back in. This is Norwood.
The Lions have had several opportunities here in the last few minutes. I'm sure Coach Lyles is very upset that they aren't in the lead right now, because they have just self-destructed and given Nicholls every opportunity and wasted their own here in the last couple minutes.
And Porter misses that one, and they're going to call a foul on the Colonel. So for the 3rd consecutive trip down the court, the Lions have a chance now to cut it back to 6. So they missed 2 free throws. The Lions have experienced that themselves, but now hopefully they can take advantage of the rebound foul on the Colonels, and let's see who they put that on.
Personal foul number 32, Corey Norwood.
That's on Corey Norwood, his first.
Back in the game for Southeastern.
And this will send Noble Evans to the free throw line. Noble Evans will have 2 free throws. He has 1 bucket in the ball game, 2 points. This is a freshman. He is a brother to the Hill boys that play football at LSU. His first free throw is good.
He looks like he could be a tight end himself real easily.
He sure does. Noble Evans sinks his first free throw, cuts it to 40-35, 54 seconds to go. And the second one rims out. Norwood comes down to rebound. Out to Flowers. Flowers drives on Green. Passes the ball. It's stolen away by Bowie. Bowie gets it off to Green. The Lions come up. They have 4 on 3. Green left wing to Grant. Now he'll back it out as the numbers even up. Rico Grant, 32 seconds. Lions shot clock a little bit less than that. There's Green out front. He drives, pulls up, shoots a 10-footer in the lane. It's no good. Rebounded in there by Wright. Wright pass down court. Noble Evans just runs in to the Colonel, Keith Richard, as he tried to get the steal and then lost his balance and just ran right into Richard.
Another case where he made a couple mistakes down there, had the opportunity to cut the lead to 3 points, and then we could end up with a 7 points, being 7 points down here after these free throws.
And this will send Keith Richard to the line to shoot 2. Richard with 1 bucket in the ball game thus far. 40-35, 19 seconds to go here in the first half of this ball game between Southeastern and Nicholls State. Richard's first free throw is in and out.
It'd be real nice here if we could come away with him not making a free throw and picking up a bucket on the other end.
Well, the ball's batted around 2 or 3 times. You got half you wish. You didn't get the free throw. Now Southeastern has about 14 seconds to work for the final shot and try to cut the lead.
I'm sure Coach Lyles would be very happy here to go in down by 3.
As Grant launches a long three-pointer, no good. Singleton tries the one-hand to tip in. It's no good, and we're at halftime with the score, Southeastern 40, Nicholls 35. Dick will have some statistics in a few minutes. The first your overall opinion on the first half.
Well, despite the fact that we're 5 points down, I think that Southeastern showed enough in that first half. If we had taken advantage of the opportunities we had, there's no question we'd be in the lead in this ball game. I think Coach Lyles will look back at this first half as a halftime of many missed opportunities. I haven't seen Southeastern miss that many chances to do things well thus far this year, even against Mississippi State. So I look for a different Southeastern team to come out the second half.
All right, Dick. We'll run down the individual scoring real quickly, and then we're going to take a break and talk to Senator John Hankel. While he moves in here, I'll give a point total on the Lions in the first half. Rico Grant had 3 points for Southeastern, all from the free throw line. Glenn Charles had 1 3-pointer for 3 points. Troy Green had a bucket for 3 points. Sam Bowie had 3 baskets for 6 points. He was 0 for 3 from the free throw line, however. Jason Whittingham was the Lions' offense in the early going. He had 7 points on field goals and added 5 free throws. He had 12 points to lead the Lions. Noble Evans had 2 buckets and a free throw for 5 points. For the Colonels, Todd Russ had a field goal for 3 points. Earl Flowers had 2 buckets for 4 points. Kendrick Franklin had 5, 10, 12 points to lead the Colonels. Roy Randall had 1 point. Corey Norwood had a bucket for 2 points. Dundee Oroa had 5 points. Keldrick Porter had 6 points. Chris Thompson had 5 points. And Keith Richard had 2 points. And while the viewers get to watch the Lioness perform here at halftime, we get a chance to talk with Senator John Hankel. Welcome aboard, Senator.
Well, we have to start hitting a few of these foul shots. We'd be ahead. But they came back from a heck of a deficit. So I think things look pretty good for the second half.
I really do. I want to introduce this man. This man is one of the staunchest supporters of college athletics around. He's a big Tulane Greeny fan, but being in Southeastern District, he's become a big Lion fan now also, and splits his allegiance, but he likes college athletics overall. I know I've been around him enough in baseball and basketball to know that. And as I said, I know you've been very instrumental in the Pelican Cup Series in baseball with Southeastern and Tulane. You might want to explain that, and then we'll talk a little bit about your interest in basketball.
Well, one of my closest friends was a man named Terry Terrebonne who played football at Tulane. He was a all-SEC halfback, weighed 148 pounds. He was in the U.S. Marines in Vietnam, and unfortunately 5 years ago he died suddenly of a heart attack, and I give a trophy to the winner of the Tulane Southeastern baseball game every year in his memory. Incidentally, the 4 games that have been played have been decided by 1 run. Tulane won 2, Southeastern won 2, so it's been a great series.
And I think 2 of them have been won on last inning home runs. One at Tulane and one at Southeastern.
That's absolutely right. Home runs at last inning. So this spring, if you want to see the best college baseball game of the series, come on out and see it.
And John, you've been around college athletics and facility. We'll talk baseball first. Facility-wise, boy, college athletics, facility-wise, baseball in the state of Louisiana has really flourished. I mean, in Southeastern, you got to give Tom Duple and his group a lot of credit, because I know you being a state center, you like to see things like that take place and don't use state funds, and that's what Southeastern did.
I just am a sort of a baseball nut, and to go out to a Southeastern game, I went to 7 last year. Those pine trees in the background with the new facility we'll have this year, there's not a better family entertainment in the world, and I don't mean to knock pro sport, but you can go the whole year to Southeastern baseball, have as good an enjoyment what it costs you to go to 1 Saints game.
And of course, now let's turn to basketball. We have Southeastern has one of the finer facilities in the state for basketball, and it's just going to take a while for John Lyles to get his program going. And I think people will be very interested and very comfortable coming watching basketball here in the University Center.
Well, on a cool fall or winter evening like this, there's nothing better you can do. It's a wholesome sport. The kids are trying as hard as they can. You know, they're not getting $10 million, but they're trying hard, and those folks that are. And you can't get anything better than college athletics. Dollars worth, entertainment worth, wholesome, an academic background, and this is a wonderful facility, as you say, and plenty of parking.
We've got it. One thing I'd like to talk to you about now, changing, I'm going to play Ken Benitez. We're on Cable 17. I'm going to give you a couple of Ken Benitez questions now, so hang on. Changing of the Louisiana politics, you know, new Republican governor and everything, or what do you foresee in the immediate future?
Well, you know, I'm about as thrilled as you could possibly be. I was not, and I don't mean to insult that, I wasn't an Edwin Edwards backer. I wasn't a big gambling backer. I thought we should have tried to build our economy on a more sound basis, on education and ethics in government, and I think that's what you're going to see. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm going to have the privilege, apparently, of serving as chairman of the Senate Finance Committee. I represent 4 parishes in this area, so if I have my way, Southeastern will be in pretty good shape. I don't mean to knock anyone else, but this is my school and my area.
That was my Benitez question. I was getting ready to come. Now that you're chairman of the Finance Committee, can your constituents here in this area, plus Southeastern, expect to, you know, hopefully see some better things?
Well, I'm serious with this. Without being facetious, I'm going to attempt to be as fair as possible, but obviously, in my opinion, Southeastern hasn't gotten a fair shake in the past, and I don't mean to criticize anyone else, but I'm going to tell you this, it's going to get a fair shake now.
Well, I know you got to be pleased, Southeastern, in your district, one of the fastest growing schools in the country. Not only that, now with a new president, Dr. Sally Clausen, some dynamic leadership, and things are really, if people thought things took off before here at Southeastern, they may be really getting ready to soar, right?
I just left Dr. Clausen. She and I are hosting a little function this Sunday for all of the new legislators in the Florida parishes. And I'm really looking forward to it. I was teased by Gordon Burgess the other day. I'm now the senior senator from the Florida parishes after 1 term. I might be the senior citizen, I don't know, but I'm really looking forward to it. And the good thing, again, not to knock other people, Mike Branch from Livingston, Baton Rouge, was on the school board. So he's education-oriented. The new senator there, Sean, the graduate of Louisiana Tech, has a master's degree. His wife's a very well-educated person. So they are very aware of education. And I think that bodes well for Southeast.
Well, I think the education prominence showed when we had the Governor's Forum here and the turnout that we had for that Governor's Forum tonight to show the emphasis that people are really beginning now to focus in and realize that education has to be one of the primary needs of Louisiana.
Well, you know, in the past, we have had so many raw materials here, oil and gas, and you could make a lot of money without having an education. Now that's gone from 36% of our funding in our general fund down to about 10%. So you can no longer go offshore with no education and make 35, 40,000 a year. You're going to have to try to create the atmosphere, and I'm starting to see it now in our young people, that it's necessary to go and finish high school and college or VOTEC and make something of yourself. And this institution, strategically located in the growth area of Louisiana, the Florida parishes, 80 miles from, well, 60 miles from Baton Rouge, 55 miles from New Orleans, couldn't be in a better spot.
Well, Senator Hankel, we appreciate you coming by here at halftime of this basketball game. We know we'll see you here some more this year at the Southeastern Athletic events. You've, as I said, you've turned your green from Tulane into the green with Southeastern equally, and we're very pleased to have you as part of our family now at Southeastern. And I know you try to make your efforts to do both, and you've got a strong allegiance to a great program down there at Tulane, and we'll welcome you aboard, though, with a great program here at Southeastern.
Well, I want to tell you, there already is a good program here. Tom Duke has done a good job, and I wish we could have the Tulane Southeastern basketball again like we had a couple of years ago. I'm working to try to get Coach Clark to do that. But one thing we need, Southeastern needs 6 more points than Nicholls State this next half.
We're going to get that. We're going to bring that to you. Southeastern's been a good second half ball club, and Dick Sharp and I were talking about it. We think the Lions will come back in the second half and pull this one out. But that's what they play the game for up there on the floor instead of on the paper.
Well, the only thing I'd like to say is that you ought to get hold of a Southeastern schedule. Get your kids and your family and come on out to some of the ball games.
They really make it entertaining. They try to do a lot of different things. Just tonight they had the slam dunk contest just now. They always have the cheerleaders, the Lionettes, and the band playing. Most of the games, they have a lot of promotionals and giveaways. They're really trying to make it, as you said, a family-oriented, fun thing to attend, not just for the ball game, but a lot of the other factors involved. And that's what college athletics now has really become all about.
It is, and I thank you for the opportunity to be on. Again, let's hope the Lions can come back here and win this. This team, you know, Nicholls State was in NCAA final, well, they were in the Final 64 last year, and were winning, I believe, at the half.
Yeah, and then they lost to a pretty good basketball team, Virginia. Senator Hankel, thank you very much for coming by. We're at halftime with the score Nicholls State 40, Southeastern 35. Again, the Lions, as we have 3 more home ball games this before Christmas, they have this coming Saturday night, that's December the 2nd, they'll play Baptist Christian College, and then they have 2 more games after that before the break when they have
Good to see you.
Jackson State coming in on December the 16th, and then they also have Southern University coming in here on December the 22nd. So 3 more appearances by the Lions here in the pre-Christmas time period. And I think the Lions, looking at the schedule, we're hoping they could get by through the Christmas break somewhere about 5-3 or 6-2. And we're going to be back with the start of the second half in just a second. Right. We're ready for the second half of play. And quick, Dick, some statistics.
Well, our shooting percentage has improved slightly. We're up to 33%, not enough to win a basketball game. And Nicholls has come down in their shooting percentage to 42% from where they were over 50. In 3-point field goals, they are 3 for 9 for 33%, while we're shooting 4 for 14 at 28%. Our free throw percentage in the first half, theirs 25%, ours was 44. So that's the only statistic we can look to, and that one isn't even good. Turnovers, we're getting beat 11-7.
Lions start the second half. 4 regular starters. Troy Green has replaced Glenn Charles. As Sam Bowie drives the lane, passes off. Grant tries the 3-pointer. It's in there. Rico Grant with the 3-pointer to get the Lions off to the good start, 40-38. Just a 2-point margin. Colonels, that's Richard, baseline to Franklin. He goes back out, top of the key now to Richard, passes to Russ on the left wing. Russ with a 2-pointer, no good. Whittingham with the rebound. off to Grant. Lions push the ball up quickly. Grant out top to Whittingham. Whittingham looks inside, can't find anybody. Now finds Bowie on the baseline. Bowie off the glass. It is no good, but Jason Kay underneath and puts it back in. That's the kind of bucket you're going to see from Jason Kay throughout the season. Now the Colonels come back. The Lions have finally tied it. There's Rush driving all the way down the lane. He misses Kay with the rebound. The Lions win a 3-on-2. Right side, Green squares up, shoots, no good. And the Colonels come down.
You saw an example there where they missed a good shot down on the other end because they were trying to draw a foul on Whittingham down there. And Whittingham just backed off, and the boy missed the shot, and we got the rebound.
Now the Colonels try to work it inside. They drive inside, dish it off, and Franklin comes up with the rebound. He puts it back in, and it comes back out. Rebounded by Wilson, who passed it back out. Well, the Colonels got 2 or 3 chances in there. Didn't make it. Now Franklin drives, pulls up, shoots from 10. No good. Whittingham with the rebound. And that's going to be critical for the Lions. Whittingham and his foul problem.
Whittingham's now got 8 rebounds for the ball game, the leading rebounder in the game.
And Jason Kay once again sneaks inside, gets the bucket, he's fouled. The Lions are going to pull ahead for the first time in the ball game.
There's a perfect example of the kind of play we can expect from Jason Kay this year. He's not a flashy kind of player, but he hustles all the time, and he works those boards real hard, and he's going to get a lot of points just doing what he's done so far this half.
Jason Kay now with 4 points in the ball game. He missed 2 free throws in the first half. The Lions are ahead 42-40, their first lead in the ball game. Remember, Nicholls scored the first 12 points of the contest. Kay's free throw falls through, so a 3-point play, and it's 43-40. Southeastern quickly scored 8 straight points at the outset of the second half, and is pulled ahead for the first time. Driving the baseline, and Kendrick Porter missed a dunk, but the Lions rebounded out of bounds.
You can see what Nicholls is trying to do. There's 3 straight times they've gone right at Jason Whittingham trying to draw that foul, and they'll probably continue to try to get him out of the ball game.
Franklin back out to Russ. To Richard, right side to Franklin. Franklin has Bowie on him. I think early in the ball game it was Whittingham on him. Now Franklin to Russ. Russ drives the lane, pulls up, shoots from 13, no good. Ball is bounding around. Whittingham comes up. Grant did a nice job keeping it alive, though. Rico Grant, right side to Bowie. Bowie pulls up, drives inside, and they're going to call a jump ball. And it's going to be Nicholls basketball. John Lyles off on the floor over there wanting a foul call, and it looked like one official had his hand raised to call a foul. The official closest to it, however, called a jump ball.
Yeah, that other official was ready to call a foul and saw that the official closest to it called a jump ball and backed off, and Coach Lyles went into orbit.
And now as Russ comes up the court, he's harassed by Green and fouled by Green. That's Green's second foul, first one on the Lions, and the Colonels will inbound the basketball. This will be Porter inbounding the basketball. Porter to Richard, back over to Russ. Russ is working with 3 fouls also. That's Franklin out top to Porter, to Russ, to Richard from the top of the key. No good. Whittingham with another rebound. He's had 3 or 4 already in this half. Sam Bowie down quickly on the right side. Pulls it up, out to Rico Grant. Rico Grant setting up the offense for the Lions now. Out to Whittingham. Whittingham handles the basketball, drives the top of the lane. Right side to Grant. But a foul is called for. Grant can get his shot off. And that's Keith Richard, his second foul. 2 fouls on Nicholls in a half. The Lions still holding that 3-point lead. Scored 8 straight points at the outset in the first 3 minutes of the second half. Troy Green with the basketball. Green dribbling out right side to Grant. Grant back out top to Whittingham. He shoots a 3. It's going to be short, and Porter pulls it down. Colonel's coming down quickly on the right side to Franklin. He loses it out of bounds. Whittingham did a good job harassing that defensively, almost 2-on-1 on the left side of the court.
Well, he'd left his man, though. Had that been a good pass, it would have led to a layup, probably. Jason may have telegraphed what he was going to do there, but the boy threw the ball away, so it worked out fine.
Lions inbound it to Grant. He rushes it up the court, drives down the inside, passes it to Bowie, who slam dunks it home. Sam Bowie got the slick pass from Rico Grant, and that's a pass that we haven't seen from Grant all night, the type that he's very capable of doing. The Lions lead 45-40. They've ripped off 10 straight points, and the Colonel's going to call a timeout. Dick, a good start in the second half for the Lions.
Well, this is the kind of ball club that Southeastern has the capability of being, and they played the last half of their ball game against Texas College this way. We're getting bombarded with candy being thrown to the audience here.
Hey, you got to watch your head here right now, but again, another one of those sidetracks in the ball game here to create a little fan interest and get the people here at the ball games. And the biggest thing you got to do is watch yourself, as we said, Dick, as they are bombarding the fans here. It's all right if you don't have to look into a mic and you can watch what you're doing, but
I think they're aiming for my bald head here.
Just tilt it down a little bit and let the lights reflect off of it, scare them away a little bit. Lions leading 45-40. They've come out really strong here at the outset of the second half, Dick, and that's what we expected. But you can kind of see the tempo turning. Not that it's going to stay this way for another 16 minutes, but you can see the tempo turning a little bit in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the first half.
Well, Ricky Broussard's too smart a coach to let this continue. If he has to call another timeout, he will, but he's got to turn this trend around, and I think this timeout was an attempt to do that. But Coach Lyles, on the other hand, has got to keep that momentum going. I'm sure he's over there telling his boys, don't let up.
Play is about getting ready to start back. The Lions have come out strongly here to start the second half, scoring the first 10 points here in the first 3.5 minutes of play. 16:24 to go in the ball game. Southeastern now leading 45-40. And Nicholls will have the basketball as Keith Richard will inbound the basketball to start the play here.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the Lions are pleased not throwing anything onto the court. Anything thrown onto the court will result in technical foul against the Lions.
Southeastern going with Bowie, Green, Grant, Winningham, and Jason Kay. Right side to Porter. Porter out top to Franklin. Franklin drives on Bowie, pulls up, now he passes out to Porter for a three-pointer, and it's good.
Again, they're working on Winningham and trying to feed his man.
Winningham backed off, gave him a three-pointer, he made it. 45-43, Winningham out front with the basketball. Left side to Bowie, he puts up the three-pointer, it's going to be no good. Rebounded by Ohio. Now this is Porter driving all the way, lays it up, no good, but it's followed up very nicely by Keith Richard.
Very poor defense on the part of the Lions there. They let that boy dribble all the way through him.
And as Sam Bowie tries a spinning, twisting layup, he loses the ball out of bounds, and it will be Nicholls State basketball with the score tied, 15.5 minutes to go in the ball game. There's a shot put off, banked off by Franklin. Franklin now with 14 points in the ball game, contest leading scorer. Bowie on the left wing. They've got him cleared out for one-on-one, but now pass inside to Winningham. And the ball is batted away, and the Colonels come up with it again. So the timeout for the Colonels has gotten them back on the right track temporarily as they come down, and Russ throws the ball out of bounds. It'll be Southeastern basketball.
Good example of how a timeout can change the momentum, and Ricky Broussard called a very strategic timeout. They've come right back, taking the lead, and are looking like the better team at this moment in the game.
And Coach John Lyles now counters. He brings back Avery Anderson and Glenn Charles, giving Bowie and Troy Green a rest right now. No, excuse me, giving Rico Grant and Sam Bowie a rest. Anderson to Winningham. Winningham out front to Green. Green launches a three-pointer from the top of the key. It's good.
Troy can light it up once he gets going. They better not let him get started.
And he has 6 points in the contest on a pair of three-pointers. That's Porter. Porter harassed out front. Now dishes it off to Randall. Randall has Whittingham on him, passes it inside to Aroha. No good. Glenn Charles skies up for the rebound, and the Lions will come back. Not pushing it as fast as they normally do. Anderson now looking for somebody inside. On the wing to Green, and a collision underneath between Arroyo and Jason Kay, and I think they're going to call a foul on Arroyo. Yeah, it goes on Tunde Arroyo. That's his second foul. Third one on the Colonels. Noble Evans comes in for Jason Kay. Both teams substituting fairly frequently. Lions will inbound it, leading by 1, 48-47. Noble Evans on the baseline with the basketball. Back out front to Anderson. He fakes, drives the lane, passes underneath to Whittingham. Nice drive, penetration, and a pass-off. Whittingham now has 14.
Good example there of what penetration can do if you can draw those big men off the pivot player, and you get some mighty nice layups.
Colonel's outside. Randall drives in the lane, pulls up, shoots from the free throw line. It's good. And the Colonels pull back within 1, 50-49. Green launches a long one. It is way off, misses everything. Troy Green put that one up from no man's land and came nowhere close. Now Bowie will replace Green.
Over time, Troy Green will learn when to take the shot and when not to. He's a little impulsive right now, as we said, but he's going to get better every time he plays.
Russ drives down, passes it underneath to Thompson, who's in the ball game. He misses, and the rebound is pulled down by Evans. He gets it off to Anderson, and Anderson will bring the ball up. On the left side to Charles. He puts a three-pointer up. No good. Rebounded by the Colonels. A long pass down to Russ. He drives on Anderson, puts it off the glass. No good. Rebounded by Anderson. Avery Anderson drives down. Now he backs it out. Outside to Charles. Charles drives to Whittingham. Left side to Sam Bowie. Bowie drives the baseline. Back to Noble Evans. Outside to Anderson for three-pointer. That's going to be short, but Evans is in there for the rebound. He turns around, puts it in. Noble Evans. He has 6 points in the ball game. And the Lions lead 52-49.
The shooting percentages are virtually even right now. Neither team shooting over 40%, however, and that shouldn't win many ball games.
Well, it's going to win it for one of them. And all the way down the lane, that improved shooting percentage is Roy Randall just drives the lane and puts it up. The Colonels cut it to 52-51. 12.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Evans, top of the key. That's Bowie with the basketball. They get it inside to Whittingham. He turns, spins, puts it off the glass. No good. Thompson with the rebound. Over to Russ. Russ on the left side. He's guarded by Anderson. Spins around Anderson to the right side to Randall. Randall drives the lane, now passes it off inside. Is finally batted away, and that's Whittingham that picks up the loose ball. Quick pass down the left side to Bowie. He'll pull up, shoots a three-pointer. It's no good. And Thompson with the rebound. Another long outlet pass to Russ. Russ tries to go behind his back, and he throws it into Whittingham and off of him out of bounds.
I'm sure Coach Thibodeau's coach would just have loved to have had him shoot that ball against Whittingham rather than try to pass it off. He should have tried to draw the foul there. I'm sure Ricky Broussard will tell him about that.
I'm sure John Lyles was holding his breath when he saw a little small, quick playmaker going one-on-one on him, on Jason Whittingham, who has 3 fouls. Whittingham takes a breather, and Brennan Shingleton comes into the ball game. A little trivia note on him. He's a nephew of Channel 2 weatherman Pat Shingleton. As out front, the drive in the lane, the ball is batted out of bounds, so they're going to call a foul also, as Corey Norwood drives the lane and is fouled, I believe. No, they call it on Glenn Charles. That's his 3rd foul. And they're going to call it a non-shooting foul.
Glenn still has not quite gotten his game on track yet. He's just quite not there yet.
Colonels work the ball right side. Franklin with a three-pointer. Way off. No good. Noble Evans grabs the rebound. Quickly out to Anderson. Anderson brings it up for the Lions. Drives, turns, spins, puts it up off, tries to put it off the glass, and it's blocked out of bounds by Franklin, who came out of nowhere to tip it out of bounds, and they're going to call a technical foul. And I believe they're going to call it on Franklin. And you know, they changed the rule about a year or two ago, Dick, where a technical foul also counts as a personal foul. So that now becomes Franklin's third foul.
I didn't see what he did to cause that foul.
He must have just said something to the official or to one of the players. He might have...
Since he slammed that ball out of bounds, I think he got a call for taunting.
Anderson sinks the technical. Yeah, I think... And he will shoot another one. Avery Anderson with his second point. And are we going to have a timeout on the floor? No, just wholesale substitutions is what it is. The Lions leave bring back Winningham, Green, leave Evans in the ball game, have Rico Grant, and Sam Bowie stays in the ball game. The Lions now lead 54-51, 11:30 exactly to go in the ball game. Southeastern trailed the entire first half, using an 8-point spurt, and a pass into Bowie, fouled over the back by Corey Norwood. And Dick, like you said a while ago when they called one on Glenn Charles, Bowie just had good position, and you just can't reach over the back. You're going to get called for the foul every time, regardless. Lions will inbound it on the non-shooting foul to Bowie. Bowie turns and drives. Looks for somebody to Evans, baseline, turns, spins. This one's blocked out of bounds, and I don't know if Franklin's going to say anything this time. He walks away, and the Colonels will bring it back. Franklin's done a good job in the last two series, breaking loose defensively and just coming swatting the shot out of bounds.
He kept his mouth shut this time, though.
Evans lobs one into Bowie. Bowie up off the glass. It's good. Good speed pass from Noble Evans. Also, Sam Bowie with 10 points in the ball game. Less than half his average, however. Drive in the lane. Randall off to the right side to Porter. Turns, spins, throws the ball. It's picked off by Sam Bowie. It's Grant. Grant right side to Green. Green to Sam Bowie, who lays it up and in. Dumped it through. Nice teamwork down the court, and they set up Bowie to maybe excite this crowd.
As they say, that's the kind of shot that'll bring you back the next time.
Franklin now drives the lane, has the ball batted away, but they're going to call a foul on Troy Green. And Troy Green passed up an easy two-pointer. He had the shot. Grant ran the fast break on a 2-on-1, but he just watched the trailer coming down that time.
I'm not sure who the pass was intended to go to. Sam came out of nowhere there and jumped so high, Troy looked like a midget in there beside him.
Well, I believe he saw Sam coming, or he wouldn't have thrown it up like that. Now, Andy Boland comes back in the ball game. He saw very limited action in the first half, but sank a three-pointer in his only shot attempt. Pass back inside. The ball is lost out of bounds by Keith Richard. Lions now lead 58-51. Their biggest lead of the ball game. Now Grant will bring it up, dogged by Richard. He breaks the press. Lions get it to Boland, back outside to Grant. Rico Grant resets the offense. He has Keith Richard on him. Pass to Whittingham outside. Whittingham will drive, pass it to Grant. That's Rico Grant with the basketball. Spins away, pulls up, shoots a 12-footer. Good! Rico Grant with 5 points this half and 8 in the ball game. The Lions, with exactly 10 minutes to go in the ball game, lead 60-51. As Franklin drives the left baseline, pulls up, has the ball batted away from him, recovers his own loose ball, turns, shoots, it's good, and I think they're going to call a foul in the lane. They did a good job his first time in the lane batting away from him, but Franklin, give him credit, he got the loose ball and put it back up. The foul goes against Grant, his second. Bucket count for Franklin. And he is the Colonel's leading scorer with 16 points. This will be his first free throw attempt in the contest. Franklin misses everything. He missed that about as short as you can ever see a free throw miss, Dick.
Yeah, and he's embarrassed about it. He's pulling at his pants right now, so kind of showing his frustration. It's bad to do that on the road. It's even worse to do it at home, though.
Rico Grant breaks the press, brings the ball quickly down the court. Looks for somebody, looks for Kay, passing in the lane. Ball's batted away, and the Colonels come back. They've cut it to 7, and they throw the ball away, hustling the ball back down court. Now the Lions will bring it back. 7-point lead, still a little over 9.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Southeastern seeking his second victory of the season. The Colonels playing what amounts to be their regular season opener. Southeastern looking for its first victory over Nicholls in 3 years. Winningham drives, passes outside Bolin, launches to the three-pointer, no good. But Bolin tries to inbound the basketball, but is out of bounds when he inbounds it.
Bolin is a fine three-point shooter, and I'm sure the coach would want him to take that shot anytime he gets an opportunity to.
He hit it earlier in the first half. Now Noble Evans will come back in the ball game. Going to give Winningham a little breather right now. Noble Evans. And the Colonels will bring it up, trailing by 7. Here at the University Center. Lions will be at home again Saturday night, December the 2nd. Bank shots missed. Evans comes down with a rebound. Big, strong rebound to Noble Evans. Rico Grant hustles it up right side to Bolin. Bolin drives, puts it off the glass. Good. Andy Bolin, 5 points in the ball game for the freshman.
Nicholls is running into the same problem the Southeastern ran into in the first half. Nothing is falling for them. And they're calling another timeout to get regrouped once again.
And the Colonels with the timeout. Southeastern has opened its biggest lead of the ball game, 62-53. 8:53 to go in the ball game. And some of the resurgence in the second half, Rico Grant helped the offense a little bit with 5 points and a couple of good assists. Noble Evans has come off the bench for a couple of points, a good assist, and has really helped on the board. And, of course, Jason Whittingham did a real good job fighting off those 3 fouls by getting a lot of rebounds, especially in the first 2 minutes of the half.
Southeastern's on a 22-8 run right now. And I'm sure right now all Coach Lyles is emphasizing, his fellas, is keep doing what you're doing. Don't let up the pressure. And don't let them start a comeback on you.
And he's keeping enough people running in and out the ball game right now to keep his troops fresh. Of course, Nicholls has played a lot of people in the ball game also. Kendrick Franklin has led the Colonels tonight in the ball game. He has kept them alive offensively with 16 points. He is operating with 3 fouls. Only one player in the ball game, Dennis Wilson has 4 fouls. Everybody else is 3 or less. Southeastern with 3 more home appearances before Christmas. Saturday night against Baptist Christian, December 16th, Jackson State, and December 22nd, Southern University. And Coach John Lyles would like nothing better than to take home a Christmas present with a couple of quick wins right before they go down to the Christmas holidays, and then come back after that to get ready for conference play.
There's a lot of time left in this ball game. We've got to keep the pressure on. We are playing the better game right now, but it's still almost 9 minutes to play.
Yeah, and this has been a game of streaks, too, so you've got to watch either team launching a streak. Colonels have shown they could do it. The Lions have shown they could do it. Grant tries to bat the ball away from Earl Flowers, but the Colonels get it back, and Keith Richard will inbound the basketball. Richard gets it in. The ball is almost batted away and stolen by Sam Bowie. He anticipated that one, and boy, you'd seen a show if he'd have gotten that one all by himself. Bowie is guarding Franklin right now.
They had a 10-yard loss there. They're now inbounding from behind the midcourt line.
And the shot clock had wound down, so it cost them a few seconds in getting their offense set up. Out front to Richard. Shot clock winding way down. There is Porter in the lane. Turns, spins, no good. Ball is rebounded, and play continues, although the shot clock went off, and Bowie comes up with the rebound. Gilbert Porter got a pretty good shot inside at the buzzer, but it wouldn't stay in there. The Lions could open their biggest lead of the ball game. I don't know, does John Lyles ever sit down during the ball game if John's over there? Encouraging his offense. Evans out the top of the key to Bowie on the left wing. Sam Bowie with the basketball.
They're trying to set up a play here. Slow and developing, however.
Bolin tries to lob it. Gets it inside. Evans turns, spins, puts it up. No good, but gets his own rebound and puts it back. Freshman to freshman. Evans has 9 points in the ball game. Right now the Lions lead 64-53. Down the lane, Franklin drives in, has it blocked away. I'm not so sure that wasn't Bolin that blocked that shot. He may have had some help from Bowie, but regardless, the Lions have the basketball, 64-53. Grant pulls up his dribble, right side to Bolin. Bolin in the K. The ball is batted away, though. Jason K. Couple substitutions. The Colonels bring Todd Russ back in.
Southeastern shooting percentage is almost over 40 right now. It's right at 40%, while the shooting percentage for Nicholls State is down to 37%, and that's the difference in this ball game.
Green on the baseline puts one in. Troy Green just came back in the ball game. He now has 8 points.
Both teams with 35 rebounds at this point in the game.
The Lions doing their, put a little extra pressure in the backcourt, kick the ball away, and the Colonels will have a new shot clock to bring the basketball in. Southeastern's playing a lot better defensively here down the stretch after the last. You know, you mentioned they had a little trouble getting back defensively in the first 4 or 5 minutes. It cost them, but the last 7 or 8 minutes of the half and then the outset of this half, they have played real well defensively. Drive in the lane, no good. The ball is rebounded by Jason Kay. Gilbert Porter misses his Green. He's got the hand. He puts the three-pointer in there. Troy Green with 11 now. 2 straight baskets. The Lions lead by 16, 69 to 53. Open it up a little bit. Russ drives, banks it off the glass, no good. The ball tipped around 2 or 3 times. Finally tipped around and Green comes up with it. Quickly down court, Green to the left side, pulls up, passes underneath the Bowie. Bowie passes off. They're going to call a walk or an offensive foul.
As offensive foul.
Sam Bowie got a nice pass from Green, but he had nowhere to go. A good defensive play by the Colonels. Sam Bowie with his second foul. Whittingham's back in the game. The Lions open their lead without Whittingham, and that's a good sign if they can play a little bit in there. Bowie.
Well, he hasn't picked up a foul this half, so he's got 2 fouls left, and I think Coach wants to get him in there as often as he can. He's giving Sam a rest.
And only 6 minutes to go in the ball game, too. From the corner, a shot, 3-pointer is good by Earl Flowers. He has 7 in the ball game. Avery Anderson down quickly with the basketball. Drives, fakes off the glass, no good. The ball is rebounded, scrap ball on the floor. Colonels come up with the loose ball. Down the court, driving. Flowers is going to be fouled by the Lions. Is that Green? Yes, Troy Green laying on the floor. Picks up his 4th.
That was a good call on the part of the official. He moved at the last second there. He wasn't stationary.
Lions lead 13 points right now. Still a non-shooting foul. Grant will come in for Anderson, and Bowie will replace.
He's got his starting lineup basically in there right now. Again, he doesn't want to take a chance on having a streak get started here by Nicholls State.
5:40 to go. The Lions lead 63 to 56. Now make that.
That was an uncontested shot there. Coach Lyles can't be happy with that.
And the lead's down to 10. Lions had it up to 16 a while ago. Long pass underneath to Bowie. Bowie turns, spins off the glass. No good. Ball is tipped up. They may call Jason Kay over the back. No, or they're going to call the Colonels. Jason Kay got in, got a pretty good tip at the basket behind somebody, and they're going to call that foul on Roy Randall.
That could easily have been called on Jason Kay coming over the back there. I'm sure you could see that from television.
And this will send Jason Kay to the free throw line. He has 5 points in the ball game, missed 2 free throws in the first half, but is 1 for 1 thus far in this half. 69-59 with 5:22 to go. And that one falls through. You know, you mentioned the starting lineup back in, Dick. That's what you like to do, to be able to substitute, get all your people some rest, and then for the last 6 minutes, you know, be getting ready to go down the stretch run with most of your starters having a few minutes breather in the last 3 or 4 minutes.
I suspect that that's what he would like to do right here.
Jason Kay with 7 points. The Lions back up to 12. A little under 5.5 minutes to go in the ball game. That's Russ, drives the lane, pulls up, shoots a 10-footer. Good. Todd Russ got around Rico Grant. Made it.
They made 3 shots in a row now. They're starting their streak.
Grant drove the lane and passed it out. Passed up the shot. Lions reset their offense. 10-point lead. Rico Grant looking for somebody to pop open. Bowie outside. Inside, Whittingham. No, that's Jason Kay. Turns, shoots, no good. Whittingham with the tip, no good. The ball is batted around, knocked out of bounds. It'll be Southeastern basketball.
Get a new 35-second clock there.
But I'm impressed with Jason Kay and Jason Whittingham both doing a good job of keeping the ball alive a lot of times on the offensive and defensive ends. When they can't get the rebound, they do a good job of just keeping the ball batting it around until somebody has a chance to get it.
I think we're going to find that when they play against fellas their own size that aren't bulky, they're going to be able to hold their own with just about anybody. When they got up against those Mississippi State fellas that were 50 pounds heavier and 3 inches higher, that's tough for them to move around. They're just not big enough to do that.
And a timeout on the floor. I don't know what they're calling. Officials are talking to each other. Maybe checking on the shot clock. When the ball went out of bounds, they may have reset the shot clock. That may be what they're talking about.
A new shot clock there.
Whatever it is, Troy Green went back in to replace Rico Grant on that last dead ball situation.
Well, after the shot, when Nicholls State knocked it out of bounds and we got the ball, it should have been a rewind of the clock. But it may be that it didn't start running quickly enough after they inbounded it there, because only 5 seconds had run off the clock, and they've moved it down 3 seconds now.
4:33 to go in the ball game. The Lions lead by 10, and they have the basketball. This will be Troy Green, the freshman outside, running the show for the Lions here in the final 5 minutes. Green bumped out front by Flowers. Still in the basketball. Lions winding it down. Shot clock 14 and counting down. Southeastern in a spread offense right now. Green's going to drive, pull up in the lane, shoots, no good. Rebounded by Russ. Off to Randall, outside to Flowers for a three-pointer, no good, and Jason Kay with the rebound. Now Troy Green comes down. Green pulls up to Bowie on the baseline.
Coach Lyles has taken a calculated risk here by running this clock, that his boys can hold it and score and offset any scoring that Nicholls State might do.
He's looking for a few people to go one-on-one, it looks like right now. He had Green try to take his man. Now it looks like he's got Sam Bowie trying to take Franklin. Bowie dribbling outside, shot clock wind down, drives the lane and makes it. Contact in the lane and nothing called. But Sam Bowie,
strategy work.
14 points for Bowie. The Lions lead by 12. A little bit less than 3.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Right side to Franklin. He's got Glenn Charles on him. Franklin trying to clear everybody out. Try to take Charles. Drives baseline. He's bumped by Charles, and they're going to call the foul on the bump. When Charles picks up the foul, that's his 4th foul.
That's the one thing you don't want at this time of the game, is anything to stop that clock, so you don't want to have him committing fouls. You're better off giving him the shot unless it's a layup.
Clear out by Nicholls that time to free up Franklin. 16 points for Franklin in the ball game. He's 0 for 1 at the line. Make that 0 for 2. 3:09 to go. The Lions lead by 12. They trail by 5 at the half. Next shot is good. Franklin now 17 points. Lions come up the court quickly. And once again, officials stop play. We don't see anything.
Clock, no time.
Oh, shot clock. Nothing came off the shot clock. Now they're winding down. A few seconds off the shot clock. 3:02 to go in the ball game. As Whittingham will now inbound the basketball to Troy Green. Green will bring it up. Green double teamed out front. Made contact made out there. Nothing called. Now Green drives, passes to Charles. Charles goes up and puts the ball up and in. Glenn Charles. And Dick, Glenn Charles is one of the few players that I've seen that can have both feet flat-footed straight underneath the goal and go straight up like he does.
They tell me he has a 43-inch vertical leap. That's hard to believe, but...
I believe it. Flat-footed, he jumps as well as anybody I've seen with both feet standing still in the lane.
Certainly did then.
Three-point play. He's got 6 points in the ball game. That foul was on Randall, his 2nd. This is Franklin out front. They got Franklin going on Charles. Turns, spins from the free throw line. Up, shoots. It's no good. Whittingham bats it way outside. and the Colonels will retrieve it. But that's what I'm talking about, keeping the ball alive when you don't have a chance to get a rebound. There's Russ drives the lane, puts it up and in. He almost forgot to say Mayow on that one. He took a hop, step, and a jump. And it was 76-64. Green dribbling out front. Badgers from behind by Keldrick Porter, and the foul's called on Porter, his first, and it will send Green to the free throw line.
Coach Lyles did not intend to be using Troy Green at the point guard initially this year, but he's finding that he can handle it real well and is a good backup to Rico. And it may be at some point in time that he'll be playing the point and Rico will be playing the off. I doubt that, but he certainly has shown he can handle that assignment.
That's 12 points for Green as he makes his first one. Hey, that says a little bit for this freshman being here in the final 5 minutes running the show for the Lions. Shows a lot of confidence early in the season by Coach John Lyles for the youngster from White Castle, Louisiana. Troy Green hits both of them, and that's what you need, a guy who can hit the free throws. Also, in that situation, the Lions lead 78-64 with 2:09 to go. The shot is partially blocked by Whittingham and rebounded by Bowie, and as he passes it off, a foul is called on the Colonels.
Colonels are getting desperate right now, and they're going to have to foul and take a chance on us making free throws. Otherwise, we'll run the clock on them, and they're in big trouble right now. If we can make free throws, we've got this game.
And Jason Kay will go to the free throw line to shoot. He's 3 for 5 in the ball game, but those 3 all came in the second half. For the ball game, he has 7 points. Jason Kay makes the first one as it trickles all around the rim and falls through. 2:05 to go. Lions leading by 15, and I think the Colonels are going to call a timeout here. Dick, you got to be impressed with the way the Lions have come back here in the second half, and more than anything, probably more impressed defensively. They have really stepped it up a notch.
Well, this is exactly what they've done in all 3 of their ball games this year. Last week against Texas College, it was a 4-point game at the half and should have been a 20. And the Lions just turned up a notch the last half and pulled away. And in the Mississippi State game, we played them virtually even in the last half.
And Southeastern trailed, as we said, 40-35 at the half. The Colonels scored the first 12 points of the ball game. Southeastern did not even score until 16:11 left in the first half. Went almost 4 minutes into the ball game without scoring, and then rallied to come back, cut it to 40-35 at the half, and then since then have put on a surge. Of course, they came out and scored the first 8 points of the second half and took the lead, and they've never relinquished it. Troy Green has come off the bench to really be a spark plug in the second half. And balanced scoring. The Lions have played a lot of people, and as I look down my score sheet, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of the 10 players that have played, or 11 players that have played, have scored for Southeastern.
Well, I'm sure Coach Lyles is pleased with the way his young fellas are playing and the fact that he can move them in there without any noticeable change in the performance of the team. That'll sure help him later on in conference play.
Well, of course, as he said, these first 8 or 10 ball games of the season are the prelims to the conference play, and then the conference play is the prelim to the conference tournament, because that's the most important thing as we get down to it, the conference tournament, because that's the one that sends the winner to the NCAA tournament, and that's your ultimate goal. And Jason Kay makes his next one. He's 5 for 5 in the second half in the free throw line. And so you stepped it up a little bit here in the second half at the Cherokee strike. There's Russ with a long three-pointer, no good. Glenn Charles skies to get that rebound. Here comes Green, hustling up, pass down, throws it out of bounds. Did a pretty good job shifting hands, trying a left-handed pass, but did not quite have enough control on it. He saw the open man, though.
Turnovers are still a worry to Coach Lyles. We've had right close to 20 right now, according to my calculations. That's just more than you want to have. But in a wide-open offense like Southeastern has, they're going to have a few more turnovers than most teams do.
Out front, another three-pointer launch, no good. Tipped up by Russ, no good. And Whittingham comes down with another rebound. He's got to be in double figures in rebounds. Green threads the needle between 2 players, drives up, shoots a little short shot, no good, and then gets the rebound. That's pretty good hustle right there. Now he's fouled. Green had a couple guys to pass to when he got in the lane, decided to take the three-footer himself, missed it. The foul was called on Fowers, his second.
Coach Lyles looks a little more relaxed over there on the other side right now than he's looked the other part of the game, and justifiably so. I think this game is put away right now.
Well, 17-point lead as Troy Green makes his first one. He now has 11, 12, 13, 14 points in the contest. They're a young freshman out of White Castle. Remember, we said freshman. This young man is going to be around here for 4 years for you to follow. It's going to make some excitement happen. Right side, Russ pulls up, shoots the 15-footer, no good. Green with the rebound. Green pulls up, passes down to Charles. Charles starts to drive, and he's grabbed and held. He'll get 2 shots either way. That could have been called intentional, but regardless, it's already the 10-foul limit, so he'll shoot twice.
Nice to see Glenn Charles coming to life this last half. That'll be a real shot in the arm for him.
Yeah, because we know he's a good player. He's a good, steady player.
He's one of 2 returning regulars from last year.
Randall got the foul, his third. Charles sinks the free throw. He now has 7 points in the ball game. Pretty balanced scoring overall, too, Dick. Nobody with big numbers. Charles is 8 points.
That's the way you want it to be. You don't want him to be able to concentrate on one man and stop your offense. It looked in the first half like Winningham was our offense. And we've kind of broadened the spectrum now, and that's good to see.
Well, Winningham scored, the Lions' first 10 points of the ball game. And the Colonels inbound the basketball and throw it out of bounds. It'll be the Lions basketball under their own offensive goal. 84-64 with 1:16 to go.
I'm sure Coach Broussard is not real pleased with his team's performance tonight. They've got a long way to go to be anything like they were last year. But you can be sure under Ricky Broussard's tutorship, they're going to get better every ball game.
Here's the inbound pass to Jason Winningham, who slams it home. A nice feed in there, and Winningham timed it perfect. Hey, that'll bring the crowd back. That ought to be on a highlight film somewhere.
That ought to be. It was a great crowd pleaser.
86-64. Green with the basketball, double team, slivers through it. Now he comes up the court. He's got a 5-on-3. I don't think he realizes it. To Winningham free throw line. To Charles for the 3-pointer. In and out, no good. Ball tipped around, and Winningham tips it in. He went from the slam dunk to the little bitty finger roll tip.
You can tell when the bench on a team stands up and gives you the standing ovation that it was a great basket, and that's what they did for that dunk of his.
And the Colonels missed another shot. Winningham, of all people, gets the rebound. 37 seconds to go. The Lions have had this one long wrapped up. 88-64. Winningham will be there for a couple free throws.
This is an entertaining basketball team, fans, as you can probably see. You ought to get out here and see them. They're going to be a contender in the TAC this year, I do believe. And they're a very colorful team to watch, and they have a lot of chemistry. You'll enjoy coming to see them.
Winningham misses the first free throw. We said in the pregame show, Dick, that Southeastern is a fun team to watch. They get up and down the court. They get a lot of slam dunks. They shoot the 3-pointers, and they play a lot of aggressive defense. Winningham misses 2 in a row. Top of the key. Shot is missed. Rebounded underneath. Franklin bumps into Stuart Drury, who's just standing there. Drury gets called for the foul as Franklin was pushed out of bounds. And this will push Franklin to the free throw line for, I think, a 1-and-1.
All these kids on Southeastern teams are good kids. The coach tells me they're fun to coach. They're hard workers. They have good attitude. They have a good chemistry. You can look at their bench right now. They're all pleased for each other.
The Lions will sew up victory number 2 for the season and go to 2-1 on the campaign with another home ball game here Saturday night.
Nicholls has only scored 19 points this half. I'm sure that's a great disappointment to Ricky Broussard, and they just can't make anything fall. Southeastern ran into that the first half.
And a violation was called there. Now pass down. There goes Charles, drives, tries to dunk it over Porter, but Jason Winningham, we just got past the note, had 15 rebounds tonight, 6 for 12 from the field goal range. Now Shingleton comes in for Winningham. Winningham ought to get a pretty good hand as he checks out. And Andy Boland comes in, Avery Anderson comes in. Troy Green checks out. Dick, this is a fun ball club to watch. They've got a bunch of guys that can shoot the three-pointers. They got 2 or 3 guys that can make some spectacular slam dunks. And they like to run the ball up and down the court, and they like to play that pressure defense, which creates turnovers, which creates easy baskets. Lynn Charles hits another one. He is 4 for 4 from the line. He's got 9 points for the night, and he's just that type of ball player, Dick. He's going to get his 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 points and not be very flashy. He's going to get 9 tonight. Drury with the rebound, puts it up, no good. Colonels with the rebound. Less than 20 seconds to go. The Lions lead 89-64. They only had 35 points at the half. Franklin tries to go up with a shot. Ball is batted out of bounds. Lions have scored 54 points here in the second half. It shows that they can put the points on the scoreboard. We're going to give you, at the end of the ball game, we're going to give you a rundown of the scoring, some capsule. The shot goes up, rebounded. Porter in there, turns, spins, has the ball batted away, but foul's going to be called on Bowling with 1 second to go. And we'll also try to get a post-game interview with Coach John Lyles, who I'm sure would like to give a few comments. Dick Sharp is going to get an opportunity to interview him at the conclusion of tonight's ball game. So Porter will go to the free throw line. He'll shoot 2.
It's always fun to interview the coach after a win. It's not so much fun to interview him when they have a bad ball game. He'll be in a good mood tonight.
And good reason to. His ball club came back and played a great second half. Lions lead 89-64. Make that 89-65 as Porter puts it in. Now the Lions, 1 second left on the scoreboard. Southeastern leading 89-65. And I think Franklin got another technical. Henry Franklin was chesting up down there to Avery Anderson for what reason? But Franklin gets a technical. That's his second technical in the ball game and his 5th.
He's ejected on 2 counts. He would have been ejected for a second technical foul just as he is for his 5th personal foul.
And so the Lions get a chance maybe to hit 90 points here. Let's see who's going to go to the free throw line. This is one of their twin players, Gavin Danos. Danos will shoot 2. Misses the first one. Danos had a chance to get in the scorebook.
Coach is letting the young man take his only shot of the ball game by putting him at the line of the technical. A nice gesture on his part.
He missed both of them. The Lions will inbound the ball with 1 second left. They had a chance to hit that magic 90 marker. They've been averaging 94 points in the first 2 ball games. Drury inbounds the basketball. And that's the end of the ball game with the score. Southeastern 89, Nicholls 65. The Lions moved to 2-1 on the season. The Colonels dropped to 0-1. And Dick, some comments while I figure up some final total points.
Well, an overall good night. I'm sure Coach would like to forget the first half, but it came out fine, and they played a spectacular second half. Very colorful. A lot of fans here tonight that I haven't seen before. I'm sure they'll be back to watch this colorful ball club. Teams are exchanging congratulations out on the floor, and Southeastern's going to the dressing room with smiles on their faces and looking forward to their next ball game, which should be a win for Southeastern. I hate to predict that, but the team they're playing is Baptist Christian, just has not had a good record this year. Southeastern ought to be able to win that ball game, and I hope we'll see some of you folks out here to watch them. As I said, they're a fun ball club. Fans are leaving now, and after Coach has a chance to talk to his team in the dressing room, he'll come back out and we'll have an interview with him. As soon as we get the final stats, we'll bring them to you.
All right, Dick, the final scoring right now at midcourt, they're giving out the River Oaks Challenge Trophy. This was something that was started a couple of years ago, that the River Oaks Trophy, the Lions seniors, Jason Whittingham and Sam Bowie, out there to take charge of the trophy. The Colonels have won it the first 2 years. The Lions pick it up this year. It's the 3rd year of its existence. And, you know, when the teams used to have that other sport playing, they had the River Bell Trophy, so now they've got the River Oaks Trophy. And the Lions win this contest this year 89-65. Here's a rundown of the point totals. For Nicholls, Todd Russ has 7. Earl Flowers had 10. Kendrick Franklin had 17. He led the way for them. Roy Randall had 5. Corey Norwood had 2. Tunde Oroya had 5. Kildrick Porter had 10. Chris Thompson had 5. And Keith Richard had 4 for Southeastern. Very balanced scoring. Rico Grant, 8 points. Glenn Charles, 9 points. Avery Anderson, 2 points. Troy Green, 15 points. Sam Bowie, 14 points. Andy Boland, 5 points. Jason Winningham, 18 points. Jason Kay, 9 points. Noble Evans, 9 points. And to go along with his team high 18 points, Winningham also had 15 rebounds, several assists, a couple block shots. And once again, the Lions have won tonight, 89-65. And we'll be talking, Dick Sharp will be talking with Coach John Lyles to conclude tonight's broadcast.
7:50 tip-off right here Saturday night.
Well, fans, this is a little pregame show. I'm Dick Sharp here with Coach Lyles, smiling Coach Lyles, and I got to ask Coach the first question here has got to be, what is it you say to this team at the half, Coach? Because they play a completely different ball game the second half than they do the first half.
I don't know, Dick Vitale? It's Dick Vitale in Hammond. I don't know, Dick, but I'm running out of halftime talks. I don't have that many in me left. We got to come out and play better the first half. It was, you know, it was like when the game started. You know, they come out in their Nicholls State, and they've been winning 25 games and going to the NCAA tournament, and we're looking at ourselves saying, we're Southeastern. Well, who are we? And it took like 10 minutes for us to say, let's play basketball. And then we started playing basketball and started coming back, and then at halftime, we made a few adjustments defensively and really played some great defense the second half and held them to 25 points the second half against a good team. So it was a great basketball game for us.
Well, Coach, I know you got to be pleased with your freshmen. They scored about 40 points tonight of your total 85, and so I'm sure you're pleased with them, and I know you worked hard to recruit those fellas, and they're starting to pay off for you.
We got an outstanding freshman class. All of them contributed tonight. Troy Green had a big game. Noble Evans played well the second half. Andy Boland hit some big baskets for us and contributed. Stewart didn't play as much as the other three, but his time will come. And, you know, we really had just a tremendous team effort. Sam Bowie wasn't having one of his best nights, but being a mature senior, he hung in there and did the things that he needs to do to help us win, and he had a great game. Jason Winningham kept us in the game the first few minutes. He was the only one really into it the first few minutes, and but everyone contributed. It was a big win for our program. To beat Nicholls State that bad, we've come a long way fast.
It's nice to see a smile on your face, Coach. I hope we can have these kind of interviews, and they'll all be smiles and no frowns. What are you looking for in your next opponent?
Well, we play Baptist Christian in here Saturday night. It'll be the last game before we break for the final exams. And, you know, as a basketball team, you either get better or you get worse. You never stay the same. So we've got to come out and play better Saturday night than we did tonight. And hopefully all these fans that came tonight will come back and watch these guys play and will be with us the rest of the year because these guys really play hard for you.
Well, it was an exciting game, and we appreciate you joining in as an audience, and hope we'll see you out here soon watching the exciting Lions of 1995-96. Thank you, Coach Lyles.
Thank you, Dick.